Well, it's August 2nd out here, out in Cottage country, and I wanted to get out here and do some harvesting of some beets before the sun gets out so I could do this video. Here's a quick shot though. We have a morning glory taking over one of the tomato plants and it's probably choking it out. And you can see there's some tomatoes back there too. So I'm not going to do a full garden update on everything that's growing today. We're just going to do some beet action. But I will show you guys a little bit of the progress here. So these carrots, I think, are just going to die off. Something's killing them. And we're probably going to end up cleaning those out very shortly. But let's go over to the garden and we'll look at the beets. Alright, so here's the beets. We're going to do some thinning and some pulling of some of the beets. Mainly for beet pickles and maybe a few to eat. And let's see if we could see some action shots of the beets here. So there's some nice beets here, but we're going to probably pull some of the smaller ones for thinning purposes, because some of them, if you can kind of make out, some of them are quite close together and they're not growing good. They should have been thinned a little bit better the first time we did a thinning on them. And yeah, never really did do that. So let's pull one beet here. Let's see. Maybe we'll pull this guy right here. Alright, let's see if I can get this on camera. Alright, it's separating. And there it is. So there's some white thing on here. That's some old leaf, but it's a nice, nice fair-sized beet, about the size of a tennis ball, I'd say. And we're gonna do some more pulling, and I will show you guys what we pulled from here after that. Also wanted to give you guys an update on the broccoli. So here's the broccoli that I planted a few days ago, transplanted, growing on the left side here, and there's still the occasional turnip there that I left for seed, and there's even one cabbage on the end here. There was a lot of bugs and stuff eating the cabbages and all the brassicas. Basically, you could see the leaf damage, a lot of slugs and butterflies. And another addition that we did just the other day is over here where the beans were. So let's take a look at that. So over here we have another row of cabbages coming up. So the cabbages and the broccoli are going to be a fall crop, hopefully. And they were just transplanted yesterday, so depending on our season, we might get a harvest of broccoli and cabbages if the season is long enough for us this year. So it's very variable on how long the growing season is going to be. And here's the lettuce. The lettuce is still doing pretty good here, guys. So we left this little bit of lettuce, cleaned a lot of it up. And some of this lettuce is still looking pretty good, pretty edible. And another thing I wanted to touch in on here, guys, is the corn. We can see some of the corn is starting to flower, starting to do stuff basically over here. And the corn is over 6 feet tall in certain spots. Some of them are almost pushing 7 feet in the back there, so they're all kind of different sizes there, and I'm suspecting that has a lot to do with the stump and the groundhog that's been chopping some of these down. He's kind of been making paths in here and stuff. As well as I wanted to touch in on the dill that was here. So there was a lot of dill right here, and there is still one row of dill that we left, and that will probably, some of it might be picked, some of it will be left for seed, but we also have another spot there for seed as well. So wanted to touch in on that. And over here in the brassica garden, where we got all these brassicas growing, this is where we picked 2 of the cabbages. So there was one right there, and there was another right there. And we could look at this cabbage here. He's still quite small. He is getting harder though, but he is a smaller cabbage. We're going to leave him a little bit longer. And there's other plants in here that we pulled. We pulled a few broccolis, but we're also leaving a few broccolis because they are producing these little small heads, and basically we're just letting them get a little bit fatter and bigger, and then we're picking them off. They're not really producing big heads, just little rosettes basically, but they produce quite a bit of them, so it's something, and it's better than nothing. There's also that back there, this massive plant back there, I believe is going to be a cauliflower. And there's also some more cabbages and stuff back there that were planted at different times. And the groundhog has been eating some of the cabbages back there, so it's kind of, that's why everything is at different stages right now. And here's another shot of another cabbage. And this cabbage isn't really doing that good. You could see it's being eaten. And a lot of that is slug damage in there. Look at this, guys. So you can see that leaf down there is being eaten. And I mean, we are in cottage country out here. And like, I mean, look, there's a big giant rock beside this plant. So, you know, it's very, very tricky growing with all these rocks and sandy soil out here like this. Tilling is quite hard to do on this soil. But here's some other shots. So we have some other cabbages that we just kind of threw in there that we had transplants, and there's a few more in the back as well, and there's some, you know, other cabbages in here and stuff that I figured I'd give you guys some updates on. And here's another shot of a little rosette. So these broccolis will be coming out shortly too. Okay guys, so here we are, and we just got done picking a little bit of beets in here. Let's take a look. So here's one of the bigger specimens of the Cylindra beets. Not very big, but there's a few decent sized Detroit Reds in here as well. There's still quite a bit of beets left in here. We're just thinning some out and basically picking some in there as well to make some beet pickles. So there you have it. Still lots left in there, and hopefully they'll continue to get bigger as well. Even though it is getting later in the year, there's quite a few tiny ones left on there as well. Maybe those will develop more. There's actually a nice shot of a big guy in here. Let's see if we can get a shot of him. So was one in here. He was hiding, and he's quite big. So he's probably the biggest one we have in here right now.